It's that time again. Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm excited. I got my jogging outfit on. Today, we are going to be addressing all the questions that you've been writing me on our YouTube channel. And man, there's a lot of them. I'm going to get through as many of them as I can, but I'm gearing up, I'm warmed up, and I'm excited because you've brought great questions to the table. Today, you get your answers. Today on Limitless TV, these questions just in, and I've got answers for you. First one comes from Fabio, and I got to tell you, Fabio, I like this question. He says, Kris, I've been watching your videos, and there's something that doesn't make sense to me. Just watch the video example of a house you bought with a partner, and they put their money in on a 10-year hold, and yet they're splitting half the profits with you. Why wouldn't they just hire a realtor? Okay, Fabio, this is a really good question. If you hire a realtor is going to show you normal houses. So for example, houses worth $200,000, and Fabio, I'm your realtor. You can get it for $200,000. There's no deal there. You try talking to a realtor and saying, hey, go find me a house that I can get for $150,000, that's worth $200,000. And you know what they're going to say? Most of them are going to say you're out of your mind. You're up in the night. You can't do that. Realtors can help you buy a house, but they don't know how to help you buy the right house. Maybe a few do, maybe some do, but you need to know exactly what you're looking for. Now, I can also tell you that not everyone wants to partner with me. Some people, they want to go out and do it on their own, and I fully respect that because I do deals on my own as well. But why would someone want to partner with me? Why am I teaching you how to partner, and why might someone want to partner with you once you have some experience? Well, here's the short list of it. They may be bringing the money, they may bring the credit, but I'm going to bring the deal that they cannot find. I know how to put in thousands of man hours with my entire team of 200 experts, and they're going to go ahead and do all that for me, and they're going to find the best deal for me, one that is loaded with equity, that's got the right cash flow. A lot of people don't know how to do that. What else do I have to bring to the table? My experience. Not everyone has bought hundreds of millions and millions of dollars worth of real estate and lived to tell a tale about it. Okay, that's dramatic. But not everyone has worked with dozens of property management companies around the country and hired and fired them and dealt with vacancies and systematized it to optimize your investment and to protect it and to take care of it. As a partner, there are so many different things that I can bring to the table as far as an experienced team. Lower price on repair work. I can bring an experienced team that I can trust when it comes to valuing the property, having it appraised appropriately, or when it comes to disposition it and sell it at top dollar. So at the end of the day, some investors, they're all in it by themselves, and they've got to round up the deal and all those resources. And of course, you can do real estate on your own. But for those that are nervous or where real estate really isn't their deal, they would rather give up half of the profits to work with someone that has experience, because half of something really exciting is better than nothing, because they might never end up doing it themselves, or worse, might end up doing the wrong deal. Okay, got a question here from Jason Rago. He says he lives in New Jersey, has $100,000 in the bank, and what he wants to know is, how do I get my money to work for me? Jason, smart question. $100,000. If you just have it sitting in the bank, then maybe you're earning 0.5% if you're lucky, and inflation's at 3%, so you're losing 2.5% on your money. Yeah, you got it. Every one of you, if you've got money, if it's not making you 3% or whatever inflation's at, then you're just eroding your wealth bye-bye every single year. You got to get it working for you. So Jason, props to you for thinking that way and seeing that way. $100,000 in my turnkey system is going to buy you roughly 3 properties in the Midwest, cash flowing and producing somewhere around $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year. That's a 12% cash on cash return on $100,000. Plus you have the growth. So what I'm telling you, Jason, is that you've got deals out there you can do. I want you to hit the link below and submit it to me to review, and I'll have my team contact you and start presenting you some of these deals so that you can get cranking. Great question. Okay, next question here is from Christian A. It's nice that you had luck with your first house, but what if your basement tenant was one of those special ones, if you know what I mean, who you would be paying the mortgage, using a side job, and then going to court all the time to take that person out of your basement, which equals debt? Christian, this is a really good question. If you buy enough real estate, you're going to have people like this. I will tell you that if you buy in the right demographics and in the right places, it doesn't happen very often. It just so happens that with 100 homes I own, I've got a tenant that is not wanting to move out and actually wants to do a small claims court, $500 tit for tat on what they put into the house and that they think they should be getting it. Honestly, the biggest problems that I've seen more realistically in real estate is someone trashed the house and you got to have some money in reserves to pay for it. This whole idea of kicking them out and taking them to court, it doesn't really happen very often, but it is one of the risks of doing real estate. When you talk about luck, listen, you could do 10 deals and you're not going to have bad luck like you're talking about here. You have to do a lot of real estate before you start finding people like that. And most importantly, that comes down to the way that you manage the property with having a competent property manager, put good, competent people in your homes. That's why you don't buy in the slums. Those demographics produce a lot of times situations in people like this. So instead, if you take a look at the product that I'm buying homes that are below the median, but these are nice homes. They're usually built between 1980 and newer. A lot of times they're only 5, 10, or 15 years old. And those homes in solid neighborhoods usually tend to attract a very different kind of tenant. So put the right people in the home. It's not going to happen very often. And otherwise, you need reserves. I call it my SWAN account, my sleep well at night account. Kevin McMullen here. How do you find someone that's good at finding deals and have them work for you? Kevin, this is a good question. So one of my other videos that I've shot on the channel here is essentially talking about finding 10 realtors that all seem to specialize in investments because they're all listing and moving properties that says, handyman special, instant equity, discount. And when you find 10 realtors like that, you call all of them up, you tell them your name and say, hey, I'm looking for a really good deal. Here are my standards. I'm looking for a 15% equity position, for example. You find something like that in this price range of 100 to 200,000, call me and I'm ready to go. That's how you wrangle up realtors. Now, I've done that process with hundreds of realtors and eventually found one that got it, that could consistently do the same thing over and over again. And that's why I built my acquisition division, that this is what we do for a living. Right now I have excess of deals because I go to the best places around the country. If you're looking for a team that you can hire to bring deals to you, hit it in the comments section below and my team will start showing you some of the turnkey properties that we got right now. Great question. Okay, Kevin McMullen is back with another really great question. He says, I've got a house that I lived in for 3.5 years. I moved out into a bigger house and have used it as a rental for the past 6 months. The tenant moved out early, however. I'm having a hard time finding a good tenant. Should I sell it? And then he basically says, hey, my payment's $424 a month and I'm renting it for $750. That's an awesome cash on cash return for your cash flow. If you do the math on that, that's insanely high. Or he says, because I paid $58 and can sell it for $80, should I just sell it? Well, Kevin, you live right across the street. Management is pretty easy. If you get it rented, you've got a really great cash flow. And at the same time, if you sell it, you got about $22,000 that you're going to get. Let me do some quick math. So if I have a spread of $300+ a month that I can make, that's $3,600 a year if fully rented out. Take 1 month for vacancies into account. So if I'm bringing it down to $3,000 or selling it and making $15,000 after all closing costs, that's equivalent to holding it and renting it for 5 years to make the same amount of money. It's kind of tempting to keep this one and honestly keep renting it because your cash on cash is really, really solid. That's what I would probably do in this situation. But opportunity cost ultimately defines what Kris Krohn is going to do. So if I have another investment that has a better cash flow or has more equity and I can do a $20,000 trade of equity that I have in this property, well, then I'm going to sell it. So opportunity cost means, Kevin, that I'm always looking for my next best option. And in real estate, you can always crunch the numbers to bring it down into your equity return and your cash flow return, or what your overall ROI per annum is going to be. And that's pretty easy to do. I just actually did the math for you right now. It's, if I rent this out, my opportunity cost is in 5 years, I'll make the same amount than if I sold it today. So if I sell it, I better be trading into something better than my cash on cash on this. One more thought for you, Kevin, that I want to bring up. You're having a hard time selling this one or getting it rented out. You might want to talk to a local property management company that has more leads, more people looking for rent. And because you're across the street, you might be too close to home. You might be a little emotional. You might be a little picky. I'm not really sure, but that happens sometimes. And I would talk to a property manager that is successful with a lot of properties. And I'd ask them, for the house in this price range, how long on average is it taking to rent? And if it's a lot shorter than you may want to look at what they're going to charge you versus you doing it yourself and see if there's something that might make more sense because you might be the common denominator in what isn't working in that situation. Fantastic question. Take those thoughts and ideas and run with them. Okay, our next question here comes from Isaac McKenzie, who lives in England. He's 23 years old and saving money for his first venture, and he says that he lives out in the country and there's some great deals going on, but he's a little bit concerned over the lack of population. Let me talk about that because this is something for all of you. Wherever you live in the world, you're going to have your suburban areas and you're going to have your urban areas outside the city. And one of the things for you to know is that if your population in city is too small, there's a danger in that real estate doesn't move very often. In some really small towns, your home could be listed for years before you actually get a bite on it. So you might have a good deal, but you might never get to capitalize on it. And a really good deal that you can't capitalize on is not a good deal. That is so often what happens in these uber urban places. So instead, I like that, uber urban. So instead what I want you to do is I want you to look for something closer to the city. And what kind of population for you should you be looking for? You can't see it, but here in this office, I've got Indianapolis, I've got Orlando, Charlotte, Memphis. These are big cities in the country where you've got hundreds of thousands of people living in the area. Cities like that, real estate is always going to be on the move, no matter what's happening in the economy. You start getting into tens of thousands of people living in your city or less than 10,000, don't do that. That's pretty scary unless you know something about long-term holding on path of progress, which means the city downtown is going to tell you where its development is going, and 20-year hold on the right kind of property, you could do really, really well. That's not so much my game. That's not my strategy. I look for something a little bit more immediate. So overall, everyone, and our friend out there, Isaac McKenzie, watch for those low population areas. Under 10,000 people, no way. Under 100,000 people, maybe. Over 100,000 people, yeah. This is starting to make sense for real estate that can move, because homes are only worth what people are willing to pay. And so if people aren't willing to pay because there's not enough homes moving in that area because people don't move in and out, it's not worth anything. And that's what keeps the prices soft and causes you thinking it's a really good deal. You need to be able to capitalize on it. All right, last question of the day comes from Gentleman Challenger, 17-year-old in South Africa. I love this young generation that is financially conscious, investment conscious. You're a born entrepreneur. I love that, gentleman. Now, in this video, you have a second question. You say, I watched some of Ron LeGrand's videos. I've learned from both of you, but in one of his videos, he says you need a mentor. Is it necessary? This is a really great question. I want to tell you this. Anytime you're doing something in life that is very different than anything you've done and there's a lot hanging in the balance, you need a mentor. Anytime, I'll repeat that, you're doing something vastly different in life than you've ever done before and you want it to work out, get a mentor. Why? Because work with someone that knows the way. You are the way you are because someone showed you how to be that way. If you want to be different, you need to work with someone else that can help you be that way. So, do you need a mentor? Well, it depends. You probably shouldn't hopefully need a mentor to go to the bathroom, right? You had one. It was mom and dad. They threw the Cheerio in the toilet and they said, hit that target. So you had someone walking you through that and helping you how to do that. Real estate's a little bit more complicated than toilets and Cheerios. So it's super important to have someone that understands the legal aspect of it, how to work the realtors, the contractors that come in and play their different roles, learning how to crunch the numbers. Bottom line, if you're that young and you're that new, or to whatever age you are, if it's vastly different and a lot hangs in the balance, get a mentor. And we're wrapping up this video today. Right now, I'm actively partnering with many of you, our fans. If you've got a pile of money sitting aside, burning a hole in your pocket, and you're thinking, man, I'd love to do real estate, but I don't know if I possess the confidence to do it on my own, then you know what? Partnering, you and I, we could do some amazing things together. If you want to learn more about that, go to the comments box below, drop a comment in there. I'll have someone from my team give you a call, find out some information, and hopefully help you understand what your options are. Because the option for every one of you watching this, if you're interested in that, is come spend 3 days with me at our next Limitless Wealth Intensive. Also, you can learn more about that below in the link. And man, you think these videos, if they're helping you, imagine 3 days of interacting one-on-one and looking at houses and writing contracts and making deals happen whether you do or don't have money. That's pretty exciting, right? All right, friends, that wraps it up for today. Man, that was a long video. I just couldn't get through all your questions, so I'm gonna be doing this again in a few days. Make sure you subscribe so that you get access to all of these videos, because if you're dropping real-time questions, I wanna give you as close to real-time responses as possible. Tomorrow, we're shifting gears. We're gonna be talking about forgiveness. There's a lot of people, and you'd think, what, real estate, forgiveness? Like, Kris, how are you leaping around here? I'm gonna tell you right now that who you are in here and who you are in here expresses everywhere. And if you got problems with people, then understand this, real estate is nothing more than a business about people. It's not about homes, it's about human beings. So tomorrow I'm bringing in a special guest mentor that's gonna be sharing some really insightful information. Looking forward to bringing it to you. Take care, rock your life, live limitless, have fun. More questions, you'll get more answers.